Good evening, everybody. What would ordinarily be an extremely happy occasion is mired in controversy tonight.
And there is much to bring you on the release of Army Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl, held for nearly 5 years in Afghanistan. Bergdahl's release is part of what is essentially a prisoner exchange. In Qatar today, the U.S. released 5 Taliban fighters who were being held. And plenty of people in Congress and elsewhere are raising questions about whether it was a mistake.
Has the president put a price on the heads of other Americans because of the way this deal went down?
I think this goes back to the general proposition that has been true throughout our history as a nation. There is a long history of prisoner exchanges in previous armed conflicts, and this action that was taken to recover Sergeant Berdahl is entirely consistent with this past practice.
Coupled with those questions are the questions about Berdahl himself. Some in his unit say he had left his post when he was captured. Some even question whether he was ever actually a prisoner. Yet National Security Advisor Susan Rice says he served with honor and distinction.
And it's the controversy that's leading to mixed emotions for a local man with a unique perspective on this issue. Local 12's Paula Toti spoke with Keith Maupin tonight, and she's here now with his take on what transpired. Paula?
Rob, his son was captured in Iraq in 2004, held prisoner, and then executed. Keith Maupin wanted nothing more than a safe return for his son, Staff Sergeant Matt Maupin. He was very candid about his thoughts on another soldier's homecoming.
At the Yellow Ribbon Support Center, Keith Maupin has helped to place 8,000 stickers with the face of Army Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl. So the first thing he told me?
Well, I'm glad Bowe's home. I mean, I really am.
But that's hardly the end of the story. He spoke to what he sees as 2 controversies. How Berdahl even came to be in the hands of the Taliban just walking away from his post.
And if that is what he did, then that's no less than the desert. And I'm not saying that he did, but I'm saying if that's what he did, then he's a deserter. And deserters don't need to be treated as heroes, and I'm sorry.
Maupin says Berdahl deserves his chance to explain and day in court. As for the prisoner exchange, he says 1 soldier for 5 of the baddest guys in the world isn't a good deal.
And not only is that not a good deal, but they opened up a door they probably won't be able to close, because now the Taliban knows that we have a president that's weak.
But what would Maupin have wanted for his own son? He says not a trade.
As much as I truly wanted Matt to come home, he understood that. They don't trade, and we're not going to trade.
He says it never entered into talks he had with political leaders.
No, I don't recall that ever being done. And I truly understood that it was weird, but I understood that Matt's chances to come out of there alive was slim to none.
Maupin says he's been flooded with comments on social media from those who agree with him. Again, he does say he is happy Berdahl will be coming home. He says another soldier will live to fight another day. He just wonders if Bergdahl's fight will be in a military court. Rob?
Paula, thanks very much. Keith Maupin says he's not going to Bergdahl's homecoming. He's going to wait and see what happens when the dust settles and he learns more about the circumstances of his captivity.